If you're struggling to improve your chin-up reps, as it might seem, doing chin-ups is not the answer if you want to get there fastest. If you want to increase the number of chin-up reps you can do, the way to achieve that is by increasing your maximum strength in the movement pattern of vertical pulling, of doing a chin-up, not by increasing your endurance punching out reps. If you increase your maximum strength, working towards something more like a one-arm chin-up, then every bit closer you get to that high-level strength goal, the easier chin-ups are going to become relative to your maximum capacity, which means the more reps that you're able to then do. The other benefit of this is that as you get closer to doing something like a one-arm chin-up, your pulling muscles, your back, your biceps fill out, you get leaner, you look way better, and you've got strength that you can then go use for not just chin-ups, but anything else you want to do. And so rather than be tracking the number of chin-up reps you can do, a much more useful metric is to track your maximum strength and measure it over time, because then if you ensure that it is slowly increasing, ideally weekly, if you're more advanced than monthly as you are training, then you know that you're getting closer to the goal and everything's on track and you are making the progress that you want to be. And so the way you can do that depends on where your strength is at now. The first goal you want to achieve is a full range 2-arm chin up. And when we say full range, I'm talking from dead hang all the way up to your wrist touching your chest. And so if you're not there yet, what you can do is basically measure progress by seeing what is your maximum range of motion you can get now. Maybe it's barely pulling a couple of inches, that's fine. If you measure that before you train your one-arm chin-up training each week, then if you see that amount of range of motion that you can do increasing ever so slightly each week, then you know your max strength is improving and you're on track. Eventually, the goal is to get to that full range of motion 2-arm chin-up. That's your first big milestone. And so once you reach that, then you can start measuring progress in one-arm variations. So the first thing is to start getting partial range of motion negatives. And so again, start your training when you're fresh, you can measure how much range of motion you get. You might only get a centimeter before you fully drop. That's fine. Again, same process. You measure that over time. If the range of motion that you can control on that negative before you need help is increasing, then you're getting stronger. You know it's working. The next milestone is to get to the point where, again, this is over multi-month, multi-year process, but the goal will be to eventually get to the point where you can control the entire negative from that top position of wrist touching chest all the way down to dead hang. Once you're there, you are well and truly on track to having a full one-arm chin-up, and your physique is going to look excellent already. You're going to have to be around 10 to 12% body fat by this point, looking great with solid muscle, and you to be able to do a full range one-arm chin-up negative. From then, the goal will be to start getting partial range positive. And so the easiest point in this movement pattern is towards the top. So if you want to test your partial range positives, the easiest point to do that is right at the end of the chin up. And so you can do that there. And again, over time, as you get stronger, practicing those partial range one-arm chin-ups, you should find yourself being able to start lower and lower and lower until eventually you are doing full range of motion one-arm chin-up. And by this point, you